So here we are. I'm going to begin running this tool down, and I'll be able to hear it pop out. You guys have the privilege of seeing it pop out. And hopefully it'll work the first try here. Sometimes it comes off and you have to reline them up. There we go. What a noise. So that's how you know it comes out. You'll hear it pop right out there. And now this whole piece right here, the knuckle piece, will just kind of swing out, and we should be able to begin that removing the ball joint procedure. So next, I'll go ahead and remove my tool here. So let's back him up a little bit, and I'll just set him off the side. And I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna pop this guy up, and we want to get the axle out of the way. So just bring him up here off the knuckle, and now we'll see our axle there, and our knuckle will just be swinging right around here. Okay guys, now the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and pick up our knuckle here. We're going to spin them around like that so we can work on them there. And what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and I'm going to zoom in right here on our ball joint. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and begin getting this snap ring off. And I like to use PB Blaster a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and lube them up there. Just kind of makes things go along a little bit smoother. So we're going to take a good pair of snap ring pliers like this, and I'm going to reach in there, and I'm going to begin trying to remove this snap ring. It looks like this one's going to be fun. Kind of started on it just a second here before I began filming, and it kind of snapped out, so it's kind of stuck in there. So what I'm going to do is, you can see I've got this side of it now. I'm just going to kind of try and work around and work the snap ring out like that. And I'll grab my screwdriver right here, and where it's back there, I'll kind of try and pry it out. So we'll just see here how exactly I get it out along right as I go. And he is being a booger. So we're just going to continue to work this ring out, and just going to push up and try and kind of pull them down there. Like that. And then I'll grab some dikes here to see if we can't just kind of pull them down a little bit more. I don't have to worry about sparing any of these parts here. I'm not going to be reusing any of it. And I've got them worked down there, so I'm just going to come around the other side and see if I can't grab from this side and kind of pull it down. So basically what I've had to do to get this guy off is I'm taking my dikes right here, and I'm going to grab a hold of them with my one hand, and then I'm going to take this flathead screwdriver with the other hand, and I just kind of stick them out like that. And then this one's being a real booger. Hopefully yours hasn't been, but we're just gonna kind of pry, and just be careful not to break the snap ring, because you don't want a chunk sitting in there. That would be terrible. But we're just gonna keep on prying and prying, and eventually he'll come right out here. I don't want to hurt myself. I think I fell him. Yeah, he came right out. So that is how you'll get that snap ring out if it's giving you trouble like it gave me. And fortunately, this one came out whole, so we don't have any pieces stuck in there. Now we're going to attempt to just kind of hit right here. Now what we'll go ahead and do is, I was going to say we're going to try and just kind of hit it right here with the hammer and bring the ball joint out, but I just tried that for a couple seconds just to make sure. I was going to see if it was going to be easier or not. It's looking pretty tough, so I was trying to save us an extra step by removing the whole knuckle up here, but it seems like it's going to be easier to just go ahead and remove that castle nut and cotter pin. Let's see. There you go. So we'll just remove the upper ball joint there too, and just kind of bring the whole knuckle out, and then I'm going to go over to the vise, and then that's how we'll remove that ball joint. Alright, and what I did was I went ahead and set the knuckle back into that lower ball joint thing with the ball joint in, and then I set the tire back in, and I went ahead and removed the cotter key, and I also took that nut off. Now we'll just go ahead and remove that piece there with the hammer, or you might try that special ball joint tool. Just make sure not to damage this rubber piece. Be really careful if you're using that ball joint tool to do that. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll just pick up this whole knuckle piece and we'll just take it over to the vise. Alright guys, so here we are. We're at the knuckle. I've got them positioned in the vise, and basically what I'll be doing here is I'll just be hammering on the stud here, and that's what you're going to want to do. So we'll just go ahead and make sure we've got a good hold on that knuckle in the vise. Let's see, looks like we're almost out there. Just keep on going. And we're almost home. So keep on. And there we go. We got your ball joint out. The next thing we'll do is take our new ball joint, just kind of stick them all up in there. But first, I want to speak a bit about the ball joint and this seal here and the lubricant that goes in there. Alright, so here we are with our new ball joint, and here's our old nasty one. And if you're like me and you didn't spend $50 on the new ball joint, that's about what they cost, but you spent $10 on eBay, then you may want to go ahead and open up this seal right here, because I just want to make sure that they've lubed it up there nice and well, because for $10 you just don't know what you're getting. But we do know that it's not going to be terrible and awful like this ball joint's a nice tight ball joint. So that's a good thing. So what you'll do is you'll kind of lift up on this piece right here, and the way we'll go about this is you'll just go ahead and take the dikes right here. Just be really careful not to hurt the seal, and I'm just going to go and kind of grab, and this guy, he just twists, and he'll twist like that, and he'll just twist right off. Just be really careful not to hurt that seal. And then we've got this other holder there, but he kind of slides, so he'll be alright. And I suppose we could use this for replacing a ball joint seal and relubing it. And next we'll just kind of lift up here. Yeah, I've got these slippery hands earlier. I did this earlier without all the trouble. But there we go. So just kind of grab and twist. And this guy, he just kind of seals it off right there. And we'll go ahead and take a look. Now I've already actually taken the seal off prior to this, and I've already lubed this. So I just took some black grease and kind of stuck it in there, and then I just kind of rocked this guy back and forth just to make sure the grease was really in there good. And honestly, so I want to see what you're seeing. Honestly, it was not lubed up nowhere near as well as it is here. So if you spent $10 on a ball joint, I'd probably do what I'm doing right now. But if you went ahead and spent $50 on one, there's a good chance that they did a good job lubing it up, so you may not need to do that. So, and also, if you're taking an old ball joint like this and it's still sturdy like this one is and not loose like this one is, you can go ahead and remove that seal and then take your new seal, and you'll just kind of slide it on like this if it has this style seal. And then I'll just go ahead and push on, just kind of slide on there. Alright, and I'll know my seal is now on there nice and well. And then I'll just go ahead and take this guy, and we'll begin by getting this piece, the bottom piece down here, in where it needs to go. I'm going to do so by grabbing with one hand, and I'm going to stick them down in there. And I got the first piece started, so now I'm just going to hold that piece down there, and with my other hand I'm going to take the dikes, and I'm just going to kind of uncompress this little piece, and then we'll just work our seal holder back on there. And let's see, grab this guy right here, and again, just be really careful not to hurt the seal like that. And just set them on in there. So there we go. So that's how you remove the seal and put the seal back on, and now we see the seal doesn't move at all. Want to twist it, and it's sealed nice and well right here. And we know our ball joint is lubed up real well with grease inside there. So the next thing we'll want to do here is go ahead and take a rag, and also you're going to want to position your knuckle like I got it right here in a bench vise. I'm just going to clean this guy out right here. Make sure to clean him really well. And what we'll want to do is, like I showed you before, to inspect the ball joint, go ahead and just take that seal off. We'll put the seal back on once we get them in here. We're going to want to do that because this guy kind of gets in the way, so we'll just worry about putting him back on once we're through installing our new ball joint. And just want to make sure we get this guy in there really straight. And then we're just going to be really gentle with this guy when we go to put him back in. So I'm just going to begin tapping him in there. I'm going to use the ball part here because we can't really get a good swing. And we're going to be really gentle with it when we get to first set it in, so we make sure it's going in straight. And just, again guys, be real gentle. Don't really just kind of bang it in there because you might get it cocked sideways and then you'll be hitting and then you may be damaging your new ball joint or that sitting area. So just like I'm doing right here, just kind of beat around, just watch, make sure it's going straight down. And I'll continue the video here as I get it to go all the way down. As you can see, we're almost all the way through. I'm just going to make sure my stud is not hitting the vise, which it kind of is. So I'm just going to loosen up on this guy, kind of twist him, and then get my vise real tight. There we go. And I'll just continue so the stud's not hitting the vise. There we go. Once we've hit it in and we can see where the snap ring will fit in, that's far enough. As long as the snap ring will fit in, you've pretty much beat it in there all the way it needs to go. So next, I'm gonna loosen it up. I'll show you and I'll just double check myself. Yeah, the snap ring will fit right in there. So I'm just kind of looking around. Here you can see, hopefully, the snap ring will fit in there. So we'll go ahead and put that snap ring in, and then I'll go ahead and put the seal back on the ball joint. So here's our new ball joint. Now we're going to take our new ball joint snap ring, and we're going to fit them down on there. And we'll put our seal back on there after we're done with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and reach in here with my snap ring pliers. I'm just going to pull it apart. And you might want to wear safety goggles while you do this, guys, because I could just go crazy on you. Let's see. Oh, I've got them there sitting on the whole edge, so I'm just gonna. Woo! That's why I said wear safety goggles. So we're just gonna wash, rinse, and repeat this step until we get the snap ring back on there sitting correctly. Okay, so after fighting with this guy for just a few minutes here, I found the best way to do it is go ahead and just kind of set them down right like that. And then go ahead and take your snap ring pliers, sit them down in there. And then with one hand, see, I did it with my right hand, I'm going to go ahead and spread them open, and with my left hand, I'm going to go ahead and push down. So we're going to set them right down like there, just like that. Also, guys, I don't know where my other snap ring is, but before you do that, take your snap ring and just kind of stick it in there along the edges there, and make sure it actually fits in. Make sure you've hit it enough, and you just want to do that just to make sure you don't create extra work for yourself. Now I'm just going to kind of tap in there, and there we go. She snapped right in. So I'm going to push and make sure. I'm just going to want to make sure that the clip is fitting in around everywhere. It is, but I just want to make sure it fits well. So I'm going to stick my guy back in here. I'm going to kind of twist this guy around. And it looks like it's fitting pretty well. So when I'm trying to spin it towards you guys, it doesn't seem to want to turn. So that concerns me just a little bit. But there we go, it just turned on me. So That's good. It seems like the new snap ring fits real well. That's going to ensure that the ball joint stays where it needs to be. Now we'll go ahead and take your new seal again. Going to make sure there's no dirt or debris in your seal. We'll go ahead and set them right over here. Also, since you've been touching this area a lot, just look at the thing here and make sure you haven't got any dirt and debris in here as well. And looks good. All looks good right there. So I'm going to take my seal. We'll just set them down in here like so, and then he'll just slip over there, and there we go. And then again, we'll take our old little seal right here, our seal holder, and we'll just put him back on as well. Looks like it's on all the way, and there we go. We've now installed your new ball joint into the knuckle, and we'll go ahead and put the knuckle with the new ball joint back on the car.